Let me ask you something. Do you ever feel like life is slipping through your fingers? You make plans, set goals, and then somehow you still end up scrolling for hours or losing time to distractions. And before you know it, another day, another week is gone. Here's the truth. The path to building the life you want isn't about motivation. It's about discipline. Today, we're going to unlock exactly how you can create unbreakable discipline in your life, even on days when you don't feel like doing anything. And trust me, you won't want to miss this. Most people think that motivation is what pushes you to work toward your dreams. But motivation, it's unreliable. It's that spark that gets you started but fades the moment things get hard. Discipline, on the other hand, is the engine that keeps you going long after motivation disappears. Here's the truth. The cost of living without discipline is a life of mediocrity. Think about it. Every time you let a distraction take you off course, you're not just wasting a few minutes. You're choosing to delay your future. It's time to make a choice. Will you let life happen to you, or will you create the life you want? Picture yourself a year from now. If you start building discipline today, where could you be? Now, let's get into how to make that happen. So, where do you even start with discipline? Especially when motivation isn't around. Let's break it down into simple steps. Step 1. Start small and build momentum. Building discipline isn't about doing everything perfectly from day one. It's about getting started, no matter how small. For instance, if your goal is to read more but you can't find the time, start with just 2 minutes a day. Yes, 2 minutes. Here's the secret. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent, and consistency builds momentum. Now, don't tell me you're too busy for 2 minutes. We all know you just spent that on your phone. The feeling of achievement, no matter how small, makes it easier to keep going the next day. It's about proving to yourself over and over that you can show up even if it's not perfect. But once you've got momentum, how do you make sure it actually sticks? Let's move to the next step. Step 2. Set clear boundaries and prioritize. When you lack boundaries, every distraction can pull you off course. Decide when you'll work, when you'll rest, and when you'll focus on specific goals. Block out time for deep work, for rest, and protect these times. Without boundaries, you're like a ship with no anchor, drifting wherever life's currents pull you. Discipline means deciding that certain things, like working on your goals, are non-negotiable. What boundaries do you need to set in your life right now? Maybe it's a no phone rule during certain hours, or cutting back on things that take up more time than they should. What can you shift today? Without boundaries, it's hard to keep the discipline to stay on track. But boundaries alone aren't enough. You need something deeper. So here's a powerful next step. Step 3. Develop a compelling why. Discipline is difficult because it requires saying no to temporary pleasures for something more meaningful. This is why having a compelling why is so crucial. Why do you want to become disciplined? Maybe it's to secure a better future, to feel a sense of accomplishment, or to avoid a life of regret. Whatever it is, it should be so strong that it pulls you even on the hardest days. Imagine this. Fast forward 5 years from now. What will life look like if you don't make these changes? Now, imagine if you start now, consistently building discipline. What doors could open? But even a powerful why isn't enough if you don't set up your environment for success. Here's the game changer. Step 4. Structure your environment for success. Your environment is one of the most powerful tools in building discipline. Think about it. If you want to study more, a cluttered desk or noisy room won't help. Want to work out regularly? Put your workout clothes where you can see them every morning. Design your surroundings to support your goals. You don't need motivation if everything around you is designed to push you forward. And no, before you ask, putting a salad next to your couch won't make Netflix any less tempting. but it might just make you think twice about that snack choice. Your environment has a huge impact on your discipline. But once you've set this up, how do you make sure you're not burning out? Step 5. Practice self-compassion to prevent burnout. Discipline isn't about being harsh with yourself. It's about being consistent. And sometimes that means forgiving yourself when things don't go as planned. Self-compassion doesn't mean letting yourself off the hook, but it does mean knowing when to recharge so you can get back at it the next day. Think of discipline like a muscle. Overuse it and it breaks. But if you train it consistently and take breaks, it grows stronger. So when you slip up, remind yourself that discipline is a journey, not a single event. So, what would happen if you really committed to building discipline, one step at a time? Where would you be a year from now? So here's the bottom line. Discipline isn't built in a day. It's built in the moments you show up for yourself, even when motivation is nowhere to be found. It's the small choices, the boundaries you set, the environment you shape, and the compassion you show yourself along the way. Building discipline is the path to freedom. And if you want to take this further, check out my video on mastering time management, from busy to productive, where you'll learn how to organize your time like a pro. Click the link on the screen and I'll see you there.